Hey guys, and welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Andrew Seegers, and this time we're joined by Derek Bittner to discuss Nintendo's vision for Nintendo Land at Universal Theme Parks. So let's get started. Alright Derek, so we've known about Nintendo Land as we're calling it, that's not the official name by the way, for quite some time now, but Nintendo finally officially commented on it or gave us more about it beyond just a press release. And some, random news tidbits that came from Universal itself that we reported on before. And they released like a whole video on their channel today, with Miyamoto as well as, what is it, like the head of Universal Studios? I actually didn't even pay attention.
Head of Universal Creative. I forget his name offhand, but it is Universal Creative.
Right, someone clearly heavily involved in this project, where they described their, unified or their combined vision for Nintendo's presence in these parks. And while it didn't offer a ton of new stuff, it did give us a better idea of like what to expect in general, like a very general sense. And I thought I'd just wanted to get together and talk about some of these extra details that, both from this as well as I think we've learned over the years, or over the past year.
It's felt like years since we've been able to talk about this.
It really has, hasn't it? There's been a lot. And the sad thing is, the unfortunate thing is, going by our previous update from a few months ago, we're not going to be seeing this land until 2020, right? So, there's going to be quite a few more discussions coming. Anyways, so getting to the video, Shigeru Miyamoto, the dude from Universal, they talked about what they want, or what we're going to expect to see. And the way they described it is it's going to be an entire Nintendo world, and they basically laid out that as they've been working on this, the plans become more immersive, more involved, and more interactive than I guess when they first set out. And that sounds awesome to me. That sounds really promising. And on top of that, they also mentioned that they're going to open it up at all three of their parks, being Universal Studios Japan, Orlando, and Hollywood. Although, strangely, they actually have a fourth park, being Universal Singapore. So I don't know if they just forgot about it, or maybe the fact that I think Singapore is actually owned by a different company. They just licensed out the rights. Maybe they don't consider that a true Universal park. So, anyways, I thought
well, you know a lot more about theme parks than I do. That's impressive.
Dude, I'm pretty obsessed with this stuff. So I've been pretty on top of, all of the theme parks and the developments with Nintendo Land. So I'm excited for this. I'm super excited for this. And it's just good to see Nintendo themselves talking about this. Miyamoto especially. Having Miyamoto on this project says a lot about how seriously Nintendo is treating it, I think.
Yeah, it really does. And you already get that sort of playfulness with just him coming out of the pipe, or Mario coming out of the pipe behind him as they're going by the Universal Studios logo. And probably the thing I took away most was all the stuff behind them. Like, it looked like the Zelda E3 display with all the Mario levels and the coins and everything else rotating. And I mean, who knows, maybe these are old props from other E3s or events that they've done. But if they're getting that level of detail, just immersing yourself within that sort of Mario vibe, I'm totally on board with this.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, that's what Universal has done so well, especially with Harry Potter now. They've brought these worlds to life. And it sounds like they're going to at least that same extreme for Nintendo, which is, as I said before, is what I've wanted since I was a kid. I've wanted to visit these lands for real, and the fact we're finally gonna have the opportunity is just so exciting to me. Even if I'm going to be, approaching 40 by the time this land finally opens.
Oh god, that's depressing.
Okay, actually, that's a bit of an exaggeration. I'll be like mid-30s, but whatever.
Same difference.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I will say, in the video, there's a clear emphasis on Mario. Mario pops out of the pipe behind Miyamoto. They have Mario Galaxy music in the background, and literally every prop behind them is either from Mario or I think Mario Kart. So, I have a feeling Mario's going to be pretty involved here. But the fact that they say Nintendo World means it's not just going to be Nintendo, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to make Mario the big front runner on this.
Right.
This is the spokesman. This is the Mickey Mouse.
Exactly.
It's not like Disney has random characters talking about Disney parks all the time, unless they're really popular at the moment. It always comes back to Mickey, even though there's a lot more than Mickey at Disney. So I can see them using the same sort of idea behind Mario and Nintendo. Mario is the representative, but there's going to be a lot more Nintendo stuff. At least I really hope so.
Well, that's really the question, because if you go off what they've done with Harry Potter, where Harry Potter has now 2 lands inside, at least at Universal Orlando, split among both their parks, being Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios proper, Universal Studios Orlando, and they actually connected it by a train. But the first part opened up in 2009, and the second part opening up, I think, just in 2015, last year. And in the first segment, they really only added one brand new ride, I think, and they just rethemed everything else. So it's making me wonder the true scale of this, at least at first. Like they may roll out with just a couple of attractions, and then maybe develop that over the years and continue to add on. But if that is the case, and if one of them is Mario, right there, that's half your land. Presumably, possibly.
Yeah, I can totally see them going that route. Like, get out Mario, get out the most popular one, then we'll start branching off from there, taking a look at what franchises are doing well, stuff like that, or maybe having a few themed rides or Like, they talk about interactions or interactivity, right. So I'm hoping there is going to be a lot more stuff to do because, I mean, these are video games. They are interactive by nature, so we kind of want to interact with this stuff. So I hope they do a lot more with it. Like, take advantage of Splatoon, have like paintball fights or something like that. Or something.
Well, that's a liability.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But no, I mean, I'm with you. Like, that is what, that's what sets Nintendo apart, or, video games in general, I should say, is that they're interactive, or most of them are, to varying degrees. Nintendo games especially are interactive. And it sounds like that's what they're trying to, capitalize on. It's something we've kind of seen to some degrees, like with theme parks moving in that direction in very light terms. Like Disney in the last few years, well, 10 years ago now, I guess, but that's still kind of recent by theme park standards. Mission Space is somewhat interactive. Harry Potter, of course, even though the rides aren't interactive, they have the whole wand aspect where you go through the land, you can cast your wand, and that's an interactive element.
Oh man, you talk about those Harry Potter like wand points. What if they had like question blocks you could hit to have those same type of interactivity throughout the park? You just hit the block and something happens, or something like that.
I really wouldn't be surprised if we see stuff like that. Yeah, like I wasn't even thinking, like I was thinking just in terms of the attractions themselves. They could apply to the whole land. Again, going back to Harry Potter, like that would make a ton of sense. And that's actually something Disney's moving into as well with Avatar Land, with I guess, them trying to bring the bioluminescent jungle, and it like lighting up underneath your footsteps. Mm-hmm. Like this seems to be where theme parks are going, is what I'm getting at. And that continues with Star Wars Land as well, I'm sure. So this is like Universal's picking a great time to capitalize on, a company or properties that literally are interactive at their very nature.
Yeah, that'd be great. Like, there's all kinds of little things they could do to just really brighten it up. Even if it is mostly Mario themed, it would be kind of cool if they like had hidden Pikmin around, kind of like the hidden Mickeys. Since they are supposed to be tiny and all that, so just sort of finding Pikmin, or even just a Pikmin area, kind of like the Bugs Life area of I think it's Animal Kingdom, where everything's super huge and it's just, you're a Pikmin now and here's all the things you can carry and whatnot. There's so many different ideas and possibilities with this, and the interactivity is definitely a major selling point to me. I think that'd be a lot of fun to just really get me involved in this and make me want to come back in case, like, hey, we just added this new type of interactivity, or we're adding this little bit, and like, oh man, what could they do there? I want to see, and you got a return customer.
That's it. I mean, yeah, if these attractions change each time you go on, like if it's a different experience every time, that's going to add a lot of, rewritability to this land in general. I mean, there's just so much exciting stuff here for me. So I guess there's something we can bring up maybe in regards to the interaction, and that's, there have been some rumors going around about what 2 of the attractions the land will launch with. It might be the only 2 attractions, who knows? But 2 of the attractions are, going by rumors, these could be completely wrong, but these are the ones that have been going around, is that there's going to be a Mario Kart attraction, which would be the e-ticket, if you will. I don't know if you're familiar with tickets, but Disney used to use, used to buy tickets for the rides, and e-tickets for the best rides, like Space Mountain, Big Thunder, that type of attraction. And Mario Kart would be like the main attraction here. And then the secondary attraction, like a D ticket as they would call it, like a C or D ticket, would be a Donkey Kong minecart ride.
Oh man, I'm actually more excited about the Donkey Kong ride.
I kind of am too, because, well, for one, that's just one that just naturally lends itself better to what we know of theme parks. It's like, it's literally a roller coaster, basically, right? It's a really well themed roller coaster, and this is something I've actually wanted for ever since I thought about this land. I'm like, a Donkey Kong minecart is the most obvious thing you could throw in here. And they could do such an awesome job with the theming, like involving, the jungle, or going through a mine shaft, and like, waterfalls. There's so,
take the whole Tropical Freeze idea where you're going underwater and stuff, make it a water ride kind of,
right?
That kind of thing. Or Man, you talk about that. The thing I'd really love them to see is to have the feeling like you're jumping the cart like off the tracks, or jumping from track to track. If they could just get that momentary feeling of weightlessness as you're jumping track to track and have that illusion, that'd be amazing.
They could probably do something. I think they use the technology from is it Gringotts? The new roller coaster at Universal Studios for Harry Potter. I haven't ridden it myself, but I think it is a roller coaster like with a motion base like that. So theoretically, they could do something of that nature, where like the car kind of like lifts up, right, as you're going around these, you know, these jumps maybe. But yeah, there's so much they could do, because especially in Tropical Freeze or Donkey Kong Country Returns, like you're going literally off rails all the time, whether you're jumping or literally going into like a river as a minecart, for instance. And that would be so fun that they could replicate those feelings, where maybe you actually do go off rails, or given that idea of you going off rails.
Ah, that'd be so cool.
Like, oh, like with the minecart, like even like leaning into the turns, kind of like how Donkey Kong, rocks back and forth in the cart.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be so cool. I'd love. That's way more exciting to me than Mario Kart. Mario Kart, I just sort of imagine. Do they even have Speedway USA anymore at Disney? Like, it just...
they do. Like, the one where you drive slowly in the Autopia, I think?
Yeah, Autotopia, yeah.
Yeah, Autotopia, there we go. Yeah, that's still there, so I don't know why. But,
yeah, exactly. It means, I mean, go-karts do seem like kind of a natural fit, but it's not like you're able to do all the stuff that you can do in Mario Kart with those go-karts, but...
Well, I mean, that's why, I mean, if it's a true e-ticket, there's no way it's going to be, like, go-kart focused. It would have to be more simulator, I would think. Like along the lines of Star Tours, or maybe a better example would be either Transformers or Spider-Man in Universal Studios.
Oh, I see. So maybe just a simulation of going down through like Rainbow Road or something.
But I mean, if there is going to be an interactive element to this, like how do you make that work? Like, are you gunners maybe, and maybe Mario's driving you around or something?
Maybe
like is this like an extreme version of Double Dash?
I knew you were gonna go
which
there.
Which would be amazing, actually. Like, if there's 8 of you, like, being dragged around by Mario, and you're all shooting the opponents. Oh man, actually, I just saw myself on this concept.
Screw Donkey Kong.
If you're like throwing turtle shells or something, I don't know how they would do it. But and that's the one that's the greatest mystery to me, is how do you make it Mario Kart without making it, like, just as you mentioned, bumper cars, which I don't think would sell the experience. I mean, if they went all out with it, and maybe you actually pick up items or something, I don't know. I still think like it would still just be kind of like kitschy at that point, right? Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah, I don't really have a solution for that, but I have to imagine that they have some different ideas, because if you're going, as you said, going with this this 8-ticket ride, right, it's not going to be simple go-karts. It can't be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Man, I just think of like stuff that's in Disney and like putting a Nintendo coat of paint over it, like Mario Galaxy with the Soarin' technology.
Oh, yeah, right. You're actually flying through the stars with Mario or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, you could. Yeah, I mean, some of the environments are just beautiful in that game. You can almost just straight up use the Wii version. Just upscale it a little bit, and bam, there you go. That's really just the exciting thing, is the possibilities here. I mean, even beyond whatever this initial wave is, even though I'm excited for that too. Like, I'm hoping this is something that they're not just going to just open up, a single land, or a single set of attractions and be done with it. Like, I'm hoping, kind of like Harry Potter, there's something they'll continue to work with down the years, especially given the fact that, unlike Harry Potter, Nintendo's not a single property. It's like dozens of properties.
Yeah.
And granted, not all of them are theme park worthy, but there's so much you can do. There's so much you can mine cart out of them. Yep.
But no, you're right though. It's I mean, they're trying to get Harry Potter to continue to expand with the Fantastic Beasts series, but Nintendo just naturally has it. New games. You can celebrate that and do special themes with the theme park, and all kinds of just different ideas. They come up with a new IP. Boom! There's a new thing that you can add in there. Kind of like with Disney and Marvel. Like, if they have a Marvel land, that's constant new stuff. Same with their Star Wars. How they're having new movies. They can add Rogue One theme stuff now. Having that built in to expand is a much better idea, and I have to imagine that's a key reason that Universal would pump a lot of cash and ideas into this and try to make it on par with Harry Potter.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the case. Like, that was a home run for them, and if they can keep that up, this could be serious competition for Disney. I mean, I'm a hardcore Disney fan, but obviously, once Nintendo Land opens, I'm going to be going to Universal. So.
Yeah, that's a business trip, right? For all of us.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wonder where, I wonder now where it's going to open up first. They did. I think they said there'll be more details soon. Actually, I don't know if they said soon. There'll be more details down the line, of course. Hopefully soon. I'm hoping this little teaser here, like, is the ramp up to more details coming out, coming down the line. But I have a feeling it's going to open up in Japan. In Japan first, probably, maybe shortly followed by Orlando. And I have a feeling, like with Harry Potter, Hollywood's going to get it in third, get it last.
Which makes the most sense to me. Because they want to get that Japanese market. That's obviously the biggest, potentially the biggest market for Nintendo. And then going into Orlando right away, great idea. And really getting the basis, see what they need to do, and then implementing all that stuff into the California Universal. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. It'd be nice for simultaneous, though, but I see what you mean.
Yeah. The really tricky thing for Hollywood is that they have, like, literally no room there. They're very landlocked because they have the studios there, so it's whatever. So they basically have to eat into the studios portion if they want more theme park space, and that may be what they have to do here. I do believe they're taking down or repurposing one of those sound stages for something, which I don't think has been announced yet. So maybe that's tying into Nintendo Land. But I'm really curious to see how they're going to shoehorn it all in there. I mean, it's entirely possible that maybe they'll get different attractions even. Maybe Orlando will have different attractions from Hollywood, just for space reasons.
That could be. I mean, it does strike me as very odd that our two rides that are rumored so far is Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, which you do get Mario in there with the Mario Kart,
right.
But I'm sort of weird that we're not going with standard Mario and also Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, that would be a very obvious Phase 2 addition if that's how they roll them out. But yeah, but Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong's a weird one. Like, I mean, on the one hand, again, it lends itself naturally, perfectly to this environment. On the other, I don't know, like Tropical Freeze did okay. I mean, Donkey Kong is well known. I don't want to undersell that, but when you think of Nintendo's big properties, he's not the first one that necessarily comes to mind.
Yeah. Other than the natural fit of the minecarts, I don't quite see it. But then we've talked about how Nintendo is partnering with Scrap for these escape rooms. Right there is just make that a permanent fixture of the Universal parks. Make an escape room for that, and that's the level of interactivity. Ties into Zelda. You can go a lot more, get a lot bigger and more elaborate with it for it. Obviously, it's going to take a lot longer, so maybe in a miniature form. I don't know. I'm just tossing out ideas because there is a lot of possibilities for this.
You could even make the escape room part of a larger Nintendo World or Nintendo Land, whatever it is, game. Because Disney's done this quite a bit. At Magic Kingdom, they have, I think, Sorcerers of Magic Kingdom, where you actually walk around to different parts of the park, where you find these interactive windows or kiosks, basically, and you play this game that takes place all over the park. And they've done similar things at Epcot, and it kind of ties into the Magic Wand idea at Harry Potter, but it's an actual game though, and that's something that would be perfect for Nintendo Land. So they can maybe kind of take that concept just on a broader scale. And that actually kind of raises another point, and that's the fact that I just love what Nintendo's doing recently, with them broadening out between concerts or the Splatoon concerts in Japan, even the escape room, Nintendo Land, or Universal Studios, and who knows what else is coming down the line, like the rumored movies and possibly TV shows. Like this, we are in a different age of Nintendo, I feel like, and especially now with a Switch, being a different type of system for them. This is a whole new era, and it is exciting. It is exciting to see Nintendo finally make use of this treasure trove of IPs in different, in ways outside of just games.
Yeah, we're really seeing the fruits of a lot of labor from Iwata and seeing all his ideas take place. And I'm so glad that Nintendo has decided to stick by his vision for this, because it makes so much sense. Use these IPs, get them out there, do things that'll get people excited, and the rumors of the plans for the first year of the Switch are exciting. We're looking at a potential Nintendo renaissance, which is incredible. I so hope it happens, because that it's only good things for the industry.
I mean, that's totally the case. It's all good. It's kind of amazing they haven't done this before. It actually feels, I mean, I guess actually they kind of had to some degree. It kind of feels like late 80s, early 90s Nintendo, where they were a little bit more free-roaming or freewheeling with their IPs, which of course led to the Mario movie, the infamous Mario movie. But there were the cartoons as well. There was a lot more. I felt like Nintendo's IP was a lot more available, or was more more people in the mindshare in general. Like Nintendo cereal, right?
Exactly.
You don't have that anymore. You don't have any of that anymore. But we're finally getting that back in new, different ways.
Yeah, I mean, for a while there, if you had a video game system, it was called a Nintendo. Now, then it was called a PlayStation, then it was an Xbox, and now I don't know what they call it anymore. For just like the vernacular of just referring to a video game system, you have that.
Right.
So if they can get back to that point where you have a Nintendo, that'd be kind of huge. And yeah, to branch out and maybe be a bit more protective, maybe be a bit more, keep a better eye on how your IP is being used, but people want this stuff. People want those movies. Look at the reaction to the Majora's Mask short, the fan made short,
right?
And how good that was.
Along the same lines, even the Star Fox official short from Nintendo.
Yeah, like there is talent here. They can do these things. The Pikmin shorts were really well received.
Yeah,
Nintendo is totally capable of this stuff, and it's good to see them branching out. It's going to take a while, of course, as the Universal Studios thing has shown, but I hope they keep pushing forward like this and being encouraged.
Yeah, I mean, same here. It's a really exciting time. So, Derek, any final thoughts about anything we discussed or anything we haven't brought up yet in regards to Nintendo and Universal?
We need frozen bananas at the Donkey Kong Mario Kart ride. Another, like, I'm actually kind of excited. Like, what kind of food would they come up with? Because I'll try it all.
Actually, yeah. I mean, we didn't even touch on that, because I think I could be wrong. Did they mention in the video like opening up like beyond just rides? Like they mentioned stores and I think eateries too, right? Or
I don't know if they mentioned that or not.
Okay.
But I don't.
I mean, obviously though they're going to be a part of it. Like just with how these fully themed lands are now becoming a thing. Like, yeah, I mean, frozen bananas.
Oh, Butterbeer has become legendary in Harry Potter Land.
Oh, it is.
So.
It totally is. Like, that's my favorite thing about Harry Potter Land. Like, forget the rides. It's all about the Butterbeer. So
yeah, to have something food related for Nintendo. Perfect. And hey, what do you know? Link is doing a lot of cooking in Breath of the Wild. Let's get some Breath of the Wild inspired meals in here, like a restaurant.
You actually cook yourself. You actually go in the back and make your
own.
Like,
pick your ingredients and like, there you go, make this.
Yep. Oh man, I'm just like really thoroughly excited, and I kind of touched on it at the start, but it is good to know that it is coming to all of Universal's major parks, or all of their parks, as they said, minus Singapore. So at least I won't have to go to Orlando every time I want to ride, the Mario Kart rides.
Yeah, you jerk! You'll be going down all the time like you do with Disneyland. I'll be left up here, and my only choice being Orlando.
Time to get another annual pass. Alright, I think we're about done here, guys. So thanks for watching. If you liked our video, make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain. You can find links to us in the description below, as a good way to keep updated on everything we post. And of course, stay tuned to GameXplain in general for more on this Nintendo Land and other things gaming as well. Catch you guys later. Bye.